This whole divorce thing, I don't know the rules. Mary seems a little lighter, but one woman's happy. It's sad.
Why is it sad to you?
This isn't supposed to be part of the story that I'm writing about myself.
Cody's current theme is that he never loved me or Janelle or Christine. Gosh, Cody, just man up and be honest.
Sister Wives star Cody Brown will never confess to loving his wives. That would mean he'd also have to acknowledge how poorly he treated them. And let's be honest, a narcissist isn't about to own up to being wrong anytime soon. Oh, Robin, we see you. Has anyone else noticed just how desperately she's been pushing herself into the spotlight this season? Let's recap. She was the first to eat the placenta, because why not set the bar with that one? She and Cody were the first to get the news about the twins. And oh, let's not forget how she got to hold Archer first. Never mind that Christine had Ace at the same time. Plus, she and Cody got the oh-so-special invitation to Logan and Michelle's wedding. It's starting to feel like Robin's got a checklist for being first in everything, and she's ticking off each box with gusto. Also, can we talk about how Robin was the first to marry Cody after her frontal lobe had fully developed? Congrats on the milestone, I guess. Honestly, I'd love to watch Maddie take Robin down a notch or two with some hard truths. You know, all the kids would back her up in a heartbeat. As much as Robin's got the right idea about keeping those kids out of Cody's revolving door of drama, you just know he'd be dumping all his problems on them, with the grandmas, of course, being painted as the villains. Here's the thing. I don't think Robin is sad about losing her sister wives' porch dreams. I think she's more bothered that the audience can't stand her. It's like she's trying to win over the viewers instead of actually mending fences with the family. Her actions feel so forced because she's more interested in playing for sympathy on TV than actually doing the work off-screen. The only story angle she's got left is her supposed devotion to Coyotee, and she's clinging to it like it's a life raft. It's kind of hilarious, though, considering the recent news that Coyotee's distanced herself from Robin. Imagine the fallout needed to go from literally sleeping in her closet to help her through postpartum to cutting off contact. That's not just a red flag, it's a whole parade of them. We've got so much to dive into today, so let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Elena here, and welcome back to my channel Reality Nexus X. Sister Wives star Mary Brown and Janelle Brown won't be seeing any money from Cody and Robin anytime soon. With a $1.6 million mortgage on their new house and a hefty down payment, it's hard to imagine that Cody and Robin had enough cash lying around to cover all that and repay Mary and Janelle for their contributions to Robin's previous home. Given their notorious spending habits, it just doesn't add up. And let's be honest, the idea that they might hand over Coyotee to make up for it. Not likely. It's hard to feel anything but disgust towards Cody and Robin at this point. They seem to have no problem taking advantage, and here's hoping karma doesn't let them off the hook. Janelle, meanwhile, just used her own money to buy Tata Farms, so at least she's doing okay financially. Clearly, she's not sitting around waiting for Cody to play fair. As for all this talk about the last season, it seems unlikely. There's a good chance they all locked in individual, multi-year contracts before Garrison's passing. With last year's rating soaring, it's almost certain they struck a sweet deal with TLC. The money must be flowing if they're all still so financially comfortable. During her press tour, Janelle hinted that she's been working with Mary on something relevant to both of them that will come out this season. Maybe they're putting pressure on Cody to get what they're owed, or have brokered some kind of arrangement where Coyotee gets transferred in lieu of cash. After all, Christine walked away from her share instead of forcing Cody to cough up the down payment on her house. Mary also mentioned on a podcast that she can't talk about Coyotee. Pretty strong evidence that it's going to be a storyline this season. It sounds like whatever's happening with CP is a big enough deal that the gag order is in full effect. We'll just have to wait and see what comes out on screen. Sister Wives star Mary Brown definitely knows where all the skeletons are buried. A couple of weeks ago, when Cody casually mentioned he was afraid of what she would do if I ripped off the Band-Aid, it was hard to ignore the implications. There's no solid proof of anything extreme, but it's clear that there are some deep secrets swirling around, things that Mary was either witness to or directly involved in. It's hard to shake the feeling that she's holding on to Cody's darkest secrets. Honestly, a tell-all book from Mary would probably be explosive. The real mystery might not even be about any old drama. It's probably about how and why Robin became part of the family. There's a sense that Cody and Robin have kept crucial information hidden from the other wives, particularly when it comes to money and investments. It's unlikely Mary knows every detail, but if she teamed up with the other wives and a savvy lawyer, they could probably dig up a lot of dirt, financial or otherwise. There's no way Robin and Cody have kept everything airtight, and you can bet there are plenty of buried lies just waiting to be unearthed. It's true, rumors are swirling that Cody may have violated an injunction by putting $400,000 down on a $7,800 house, according to Realty. If that's the case, it would be a major misstep. Christine's lawyer should be all over this, and if Cody really went behind the court's back, there could be serious consequences, though a prison sentence might be a stretch. At the very least, any violation could mean financial penalties or additional legal headaches, which he frankly deserves. It's infuriating to think that money, which could have been spent on Truly's care or Isabel's surgery, instead went to another oversized house. The arrogance is astounding. He seems to believe he's untouchable. However, all the official court records are sealed, which makes it hard to confirm if an actual injunction violation took place. According to Without a Crystal Ball, WACB, there's a clause that prohibits the transfer or concealment of assets if the case involves property or debt division. If that clause doesn't apply here, Cody might be in the clear legally, even if his behavior raises eyebrows. Real estate transactions are usually complicated affairs that involve title searches and legal oversight. It's not easy to slip a questionable deal past the lawyers involved, who would be risking their careers if they knowingly facilitated something shady. Without concrete evidence or access to the specific details of Christine's claims, it's hard to determine if there's been any wrongdoing. If there really was an injunction and Cody violated it, those documents would have to be part of a legal case, but right now it looks like those details are either sealed or simply non-existent. It's one of those frustrating situations where all the speculation is juicy, but until someone produces hard evidence, or a document outlining Christine suing Cody for money and assets, it's mostly guesswork. Sister Wives star Cody Brown really takes the cake in Season 17's early episodes. Here he is, perched on his high horse, lamenting how Garrison called him up to declare he's done with his father's rules and favoritism towards Robin. And get this, Cody, in all his glory, has the audacity to label Garrison a narcissist. Seriously? This man-baby has the nerve to throw around that term when he could easily be a case study in narcissism himself. Doesn't he realize that calling his son a narcissist might just be a classic case of psychological projection? You know, where someone deflects their insecurities onto someone else, it's almost comical. For instance, a dad who's never really made a name for himself might tell his son, "You'll never amount to anything," instead of facing his own shortcomings. If I ever thought my child was genuinely acting selfishly, my first instinct wouldn't be to slap a label on him. No, I'd assume he just needed a little guidance to navigate those tricky emotional waters and mature into a responsible adult. Why? Because I'd recognize that labeling him would not only damage our relationship, but could also mess with how he views himself. Even if Cody were right and Garrison was a bit self-centered, which I seriously doubt, the way he's handling it is so fundamentally flawed that it overshadows any point he might think he has. There's been quite a bit of chatter and confusion surrounding sister wives star Coyotee Brown and Robin's new house being owned by a trust. As a CPA currently on medical leave, and with a little too much time to ponder the complexities of estate planning, I thought I'd clarify things a bit. Just a heads up, this is a general overview and not specific tax or legal advice. So here's the deal. If you kick the bucket in 2024 and your net assets exceed $13.6 million, or $27.2 million for joint filers, congratulations! You're officially subject to an estate tax that can range from 34% to 40% of your assets' value. But let's be real, only a tiny fraction of the population ever hits those numbers. Still, people tend to freak out about it. Luckily for Coyotee and Robin, Arizona doesn't impose an estate tax, so they're off the hook there. One common tax planning strategy to mitigate estate taxes is setting up a revocable or living trust. Now, a revocable trust isn't a separate legal entity. The individual is still taxed on all the earnings while they're alive. Essentially, the trust holds assets like bank accounts and investments until the owner passes away. At that point, it morphs into an irrevocable trust, and a trustee is appointed to manage and distribute the assets. The beauty of this setup is that since the assets transfer automatically to the trust upon death, they aren't counted as part of the deceased's estate when determining tax liability. There are countless other strategies to reduce your taxable estate, but this is one of the most practical. Now back to Coyotee and Robin. Let's be real, they still rank among the worst. As a quick side note, estate planning can get incredibly complicated. Please take the time to sort out your affairs and involve your children or executors in discussions with your attorney. This isn't the area to skimp on, unless, of course, you secretly want to create a bureaucratic maze for your loved ones after you're gone. I see so many people who either completely neglect to prepare for their eventual demise, or think they're covered but haven't taken the necessary steps. It's tough enough to deal with the loss of a loved one, and being thrust into a bureaucratic nightmare makes it even worse. Trust me, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I hope Sister Wives star Janelle Brown finds a romantic partner someday. I know, she doesn't need a man. But honestly, she deserves to experience a happy, healthy relationship. She deserves to feel like she's the center of someone's world, and to be with someone who respects her autonomy and genuinely wants to be with her. That's all I'm saying. Of course, she can absolutely stay single if that's what she wants. From what she's shared about enjoying single life, doing her own thing, it seems like she hasn't had that freedom in her relationships before. She's been tied to not-so-great partners for most of her life, and I really hope she gets to experience a loving partnership that suits her at least once. That said, I get it if she's happier on her own. She's mentioned that being a part-time plural wife could get overwhelming, and after just a few days of Coyotee being around, she'd be like, "You want to go somewhere else." It's clear that Janelle appreciates plural marriage more for the independence it offers than for constant companionship, unlike Christine. She values her time with her plants, her dogs, and being a mom and grandma. She's content being the center of her grandkids' worlds without needing a romantic partner to fill that role. Janelle has stated that she doesn't want to date. She knows what's best for her. She's indicated that she's a bit of a loner. Her favorite pastime is going fishing alone for 3 hours. Part of the appeal of plural marriage for her was not wanting a full-time partner and wanting some time away from her kids. She envisions living in a trailer or a tiny apartment with no space for another person, and those choices are intentional. She's recently launched a new career, moved across the country, and her priorities are clearly focused on spending time with her grandchildren and enjoying life on her own. Janelle has a full life, and it feels a bit dismissive to suggest she's missing out on something she deserves simply because she doesn't want to be in a relationship. Oh, poor Robin, truly the epitome of misunderstood innocence. Seriously, how can she not realize that all the family drama kicked off the moment she waltzed into their lives? Is she really that clueless? What kind of pep talks does she give herself during those awkward, quiet moments alone? From day one, she set herself and her kids apart from the rest of the family, crafting an alternate reality where the other kids were just dying to ignore them. Honestly, what kind of fairy tale is she spinning for her little ones? I can't help but hope that karma pulls up to her new doorstep and gives her life a good shake, just like she did to that entire family. Let's be real, the issues in this family were brewing long before Robin showed up. Even before the cameras started rolling, we learned that Coyotee had melted down Mary's wedding ring, intimacy had taken a permanent vacation, and Christine was already plotting her escape. That family was on the verge of implosion well before Robin entered the scene. Honestly, I'm amazed it lasted as long as it did. I guess the allure of reality TV money kept the facade going for a while longer. Ah, the classic tale of parental favoritism, brought to you by Coyotee, the king of self-absorption. Honestly, the man has a remarkable talent for caring only about himself. I mean, his "it's your fault if I'm in love with you or not" speech? Barf. He might as well have said, "As long as a woman submits to me, I'll love her." It's really a masterclass in self-centeredness. What gets me is how he treats the kids who dare to honor him. Remember when he suggested living with Coyotee and Tony when they were riding high on their love? Meanwhile, Robin's older kids were never pushed out of the nest. It's like they have a VIP pass to his affection. But rewind a bit, and you'll find him practically shouting that Janelle's sons needed to be booted out just because they turned 18. At first, I thought it was just a preference for daughters over sons. But the more he talks, the more it seems he views his children as potential life partners. It's like a twisted loyalty test. Either you obey and respect him, or you might as well not exist. I know this sounds harsh, but honestly, the kids he ignores might just be the lucky ones. Coyotee's brand of favoritism is practically mental abuse, while the kids he loves have to jump through hoops to prove they're worthy of his attention. What a dysfunctional circus. So Sister Wives star Janelle Brown finally decides to throw caution to the wind and tells Coyotee she's totally up for sharing a home again. Yes, I'm all in for plural marriage, and I can't wait to move in with you and Robin, she says, probably envisioning some happy family moments. Coyotee, of course, lights up like a kid in a candy store. Oh, absolutely. But first, let's lay down some ground rules. Sons, you're not allowed in the house unless you grovel and apologize to me and Robin first. The girls, they might get a golden ticket if they can splurge on some pricey gift for Robin and bow down to her like she's royalty every time she walks in. And let's not forget Janelle's special arrangement. She gets a single night a month in this glorious setup, while her hard-earned salary? Yeah, that's going straight to Robin's purse. Because, of course, what's a plural marriage without a little financial oversight, right? Is it just me, or does Sister Wives star Mary Brown come across as a little, well, immature? I know this might ruffle some feathers, but let's be real, she has always seemed a bit off. There's something about her that feels excessively childish, like she's living in her own little bubble, completely disconnected from reality. Let's not forget, Mary married at 19, which is practically a lifetime ago. It seems like she has some serious religious and family baggage to unpack. And while I'll give her credit for seeking therapy and making strides in her personal growth, I can't help but wonder if she sometimes looks back and thinks, "What was I thinking?" I wouldn't be surprised if she secretly wishes she'd held off on the whole marriage thing and pursued a college degree instead. Honestly, Mary seems much more suited for a monogamous life, just like the rest of her family. But hey, who needs practicality when you can cling to youthful fantasies, right? In Season 12, Episode 10, we see Sister Wives star Christine confront Mary about her absence at Axel's birth and question why she seems so guarded around the family. But let's be real, what they aren't saying out loud is, Cody's been whispering sweet nothings about your relationship with him, while Mary is left completely in the dark about the gossip swirling behind her back. Honestly, Coyotee deserves the lion's share of the blame for the fraying connections among the wives, especially with Mary towards the end. Coyotee has a real talent for pitting his wives against each other. When one of them steps out of line, he punishes them by forming these little family alliances, making it super convenient to paint Mary as the villain. It's like he's running a reality show where everyone else wins when he knocks someone down a peg. At the time of this confrontation, Christine was riding high with Coyotee and cozying up with Robin, which I think gave her a bit of a power trip. Honestly, that on-camera public intervention doesn't do her any favors. But let's not kid ourselves. Coyotee is the puppet master behind all the wives' antics toward one another. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and much love to you all.